Saudi Arabia's vast oil wealth provides the country with more money than it knows what to do with. And when Mohammed bin Salman, or MBS, became crown prince in 2017, his expensive pet project was this: a vast new city in the desert. Neom has been built to be a city designed from scratch at the tip of the Red Sea. Multiple regions are planned, including a floating industrial complex, global trade hubs, tourist resorts, and a linear city powered by renewable energy sources. The most striking part of Neom was that linear city called the Line. So this was supposed to be a linear color city built with two high mirrored walls and stretching 170 kilometers across the desert. But Neom has also been beset by setbacks and controversy. So in terms of controversies, Neom has faced criticisms for human rights violations against the indigenous Hawatat tribe. The United Nations has raised alarms over the execution of 3 members of the Hawatat tribe who were arrested for terrorism accusations but were in fact resisting the forced evictions tied to the Neom project. In terms of setbacks, earlier this year it was announced the ambitious Line project would be scaled back from 105 miles to 1.5 miles by 2030. So that's a lot shorter. That might be a blow to Mohammed bin Salman's ego, but it could also be a relief to migratory birds who conservationists had warned would fly to their deaths into its high mirrored walls. Despite all this, though, Neom does now, in fact, exist. It's not just a hypothetical plan with great AI videos on YouTube as it was in 2017. And influencers have already moved in.
So this is a little bit of what Neom Community 1 looks like. I just wanted to show you guys around. So here I am just walking to the dining hall. But before I get there, I just need to make a quick stop at the post office. So this is what our post office looks like. And Hanson was just smiling at all the people. And finally, when I was finished there, it was time to head up to the dining hall. And just as I arrived, my husband also arrived. Guys, it's so cute. Hanson is always so excited to see his dad. And then it was time to grab some food. Oh, we have the best fruit here. Look at this. Hanson's having his favorite mac and cheese tonight. He's also tucking into his dad's food. And then baby brother was tired, so I put him to sleep and finished my food. Here Hanson's having a plum, I think. I'm not too sure if he was a fan. Here I am just looking for my husband. Oh, I found him. And now it's time for Hanson to go absolutely crazy and run around until he gets completely exhausted. He was having so much fun tonight running around on the grass and getting that energy out. Toddler boy moms, you will understand. Guys, we also have the best sunsets here. It was such a beautiful evening tonight. And finally, once Hanson was tired, it was time to head home. Our evenings during the week look pretty much the same, but this is honestly my favorite time of the day. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!
That video went very viral on Twitter. My favorite response was someone saying, "Oh, wow, this looks great. I've always dreamed of living in an industrial estate on the surface of the sun." Aaron, can you imagine a life for you and your family in Neom? I'm not sure if it's Neom or Neom or Nome, but anyway, would you move there? What would it take?
No, I wouldn't. If the East German state had not collapsed, if the Berlin Wall had not fallen, and it was still with us in 2024, I kind of feel like this is what it would be building. And that's not to dismiss the former DDR. It would be building something like this without the levels of exploitation and human slavery that you see in many of the economies that basically uphold the various Gulf states. So not really that appealing, and it does really just look like a giant retail park. I did chuckle when she said, "This is my favorite part of the day. It's the only time of the day you can go out because it's not 40 degrees centigrade." I don't know what else would be your favorite time of the day. Maybe watching daytime TV shows in an air-conditioned gym. But yeah, deeply unappealing, Michael. And I can't see it catching on somehow.
The restaurant is just called Dining Hall. I suppose that's the kind of East German element of it mainly, which is very sort of utilitarian in terms of where you're supposed to go. Although I suppose to describe Neom as utilitarian, probably not quite right. It's so a few Western influencers can enjoy their air-conditioned hotel rooms off the backs of presumably a lot of labor that wasn't treated very well, and then these tribal groups who were kicked from their land. I suppose the broader story here, though, is MBS. They're sort of pitching this as, I suppose, a progressive thing, because they're saying we're moving away from oil. We know that we can't sort of live off oil forever. So we're going to invest the revenues, our sort of massive, very wealthy sovereign wealth fund, in creating this new city. They say it's going to be green. It's going to be solar powered. They've shortened the line so the birds will still be able to migrate. Is it, is there anything interesting or exciting about a sort of ambitious crown prince saying, I'm going to funnel my oil money into creating a whole new way of living?
Well, you have to remember as well, this claim around, we're going to use renewable energy. I think Saudi Arabia is the 6th or 7th largest consumer in terms of CO2 emissions, consumer of fossil fuels on Earth. When you think of the size of its population, that is absolutely extraordinary. So, okay, you can talk all you want about solar and nuclear, but the point is you have terrific amounts of solar exposure in your country, and yet you guzzle fossil fuels like basically nobody else per capita. So that's the first point. And in terms of being exciting, not really, Michael. If I'm to look at sort of societies, countries out there that look exciting in the 21st century, I mean, it doesn't mean I agree with their sort of political economy or the regimes that are in charge of them. Exciting, I probably think Singapore's quite interesting. I mean, to see such an extraordinary increase in living standards in less than a century, that's really fascinating. Vietnam, fascinating. It's a one-party state, which has, again, really improved people's quality of life in the aftermath of a horrendous war in the last 20, 30 years. Obviously, the People's Republic of China, very interesting. Some countries in Europe, moderately interesting. Norway, quite interesting. Again, that's a lot of that's being paid for by fossil fuel exports, but that's interesting. I don't really, maybe I'm wrong, Michael, maybe I'm a bad person. I don't look at Saudi Arabia and think that's a really interesting way of administering a society. I suppose the interesting part of it is the extent and the velocity with which MBS is trying to secularize certain aspects of Saudi culture and Saudi society, which have been impressive in how quickly they've been done. But of course, the Shah of Iran tried to do something quite similar in the 60s and the 70s, and there was, of course, the end of that, a theocratic revolution in 1979. So there will be forces of reaction going against the MBS as well. But no, I don't. I hope, I sincerely hope this is not the future of humanity, and that people don't look back on the 2020s and the 2030s and MBS as being some world historical figure. Because if he's the best we can do, and if Saudi Arabia is the best we can do, we're in big trouble. I'm much more enthusiastic about Taiwan, Vietnam, Singapore, China. These places really speak to human ingenuity, Michael.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I'm not going to be moving to NEOM anytime soon. Even though it does create great opportunities for viral TikTok videos where you can say how much fruit you've been eating and what a lovely walk you had to the dining hall called Dining Hall.